What with the counting and all?
Yeah. Countdown.
You want a stick?
Yeah.
Excellent. We will have to, let's see. You're welcome.
I'll go with that.
And then bend your knees. Put all your weight in your left foot. Put your right foot forward. And as you move your weight into your right foot, draw the weapon. And let your left heel go behind your right foot. So you did this, and your body changed position. So now your right shoulder's forward, your left shoulder's back, and your hands are about one hand width apart, with your left hand being on the back. And the strongest grip is your little fingers. And your knuckles go across each other as though you were sort of wringing out your weapon. And then your shoulders relax and your elbows bend slightly and you move your balance back and forth. So next time when it comes up, you'll guide it past your hand with your right hand and bring it back down again. You'll extend with the blade of your left hand, which brings it toward your head, and you'll use your right hand to make it miss your head, and then bring your shoulders and elbows down and together and bring your weapon forward. So that instead of it just being your arm strength deployed into your weapon, it's your body weight. And then let your front foot go towards your back foot when you come up and back, and let your front foot go forward as you come down. Okay. Now we're going to go directly, instead of going through all the suburi, since we're going to heading in the direction of Kintaijo, we're going to go directly to 4th and 5th suburi, which is what we use most. So instead of going back and forth with the right side forward, you're going to step your left side forward and take your right foot back and cut. And then, so you're side stepping. Right forward, left back, left forward, right back, right forward, left back, left forward, right back and forth. We did the first Bokken Suburi, which is just up and down with one foot forward, in this case the right foot. And then we did the fourth Bokken Suburi, which is up and down with opposite foot forward. So left side, right side. Left side, right side. Left side. Right. Make sure your whole body moves as you cut. Ears are grabbing on and you can feel the edge of your hand engaging. Go straight up and down. Feel how this feels different. And then switch which foot is forward as you cut. And let your body move to the side as your balance shifts. So your head stays forward, but you're changing what shoulder and hip are forward, even though your hands don't change sides. It might feel a little weird. Straight up, straight down, side to side. Hold the weapon loosely with your right hand to your right hip and the point facing out with your left foot forward. And then again, move your balance backwards and forwards. Back and forth. And then allow that to sort of influence. When you go forward, the jo goes forward. But try not to let the jo go backwards. So you don't want to do this. You want to be focusing on body movement. So it'll do a little bit of a catch, but not a pull. Bump, 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 bump. Because this is where the shock is of hitting something is going to go through. Bump. So at the end, it looks like you've punched something with your first two knuckles, and this is flat. And your hand is going to come where your wrist is right even with your ribs, because that's the magic spot where if somebody grabs your weapon and pulls you forward, it's very difficult for them to pull you off your balance. If you reach a little forward or you lean with your head, it's real easy for them to pull you forward. So your head goes straight up, as always. Your knees are over your toes. You're moving your whole body weight when you strike, and you're getting used to what the front end of that strike, where it stops. It's where you could grab your own ribs, and your elbows even with your back ribs, your wrist is even with your front ribs. If somebody punched you really hard and you went, oh, that's about where your arm ends. And what's happening in the front is your knuckle is rotating the end of the weapon into position for targeting purposes. So I'm pushing, my body weight's behind it. It's a gross movement until your left hand goes right there. So you're not hyperextending your elbow, you're pushing with your first knuckle. So go ahead and try your ski or thrust. Vomp, I wait. I drop back and I circular block away. You'll notice that I went to this side. I drop back and that block down. And so it's not this, it's that. So at speed, whatever he has in mind, I've complicated it by drawing a circle around his torso because I'm not really sure what he wants. But this will block almost anything unless he does something weird and down at my legs. So I start here, I open, so this is vulnerable. He comes to attack, I step down and I draw a circle around his midsection so that he's vulnerable and that I could poke him in the chest. He takes the hit as an opportunity and comes around to the other side. Boom, boom. I wait. I open, he strikes and he stops. I do a counterclockwise block. He comes to the other side, he stops. I do a clockwise block. He comes up again and stops, and I poke him in the chest. Okay? And you use that opportunity to come back up again, and you step in with your right foot around his weapon, and he pokes you in the chest. Pook. You open a little bit, and you come straight in with no sideways, just boom. Yeah, and he goes, bada.
I see from here.
Yes. And then he gave you a bonk. Yes. Then step back again, same exact way, and clockwise. Excellent. He comes back in again. Yep. And you poke him in the chest before he gets all the way to the top. Now I'm going to add one last thing, and that is you're going to get off the line a little bit. So instead of doing this, at the end you're going to go. So all that's left is your heel, and he'd have to really reach for it. So the fast version of this is like you fell downstairs. And it's your whole body weight, both getting you out of the way and driving at an angle. So you are actually whack, and you hit them, and they go poof.
I see. Body have to offline.
Height.
With the body too.
Yep. You're waiting for him to commit. You offer him something, he attacks. You block. You're looking at him expectantly like commit. He goes to the other side. You block. He figures third time's the charm. He comes in and boom, you go off the line. Come get me again. No. If I did this, where does your weapon go? Lift your hands right up your center. I did this. Lift your hands right up your center. Now step with that foot and come get me. Boom. I do this. Where does your weapon go? Lift your hands right up your center. Step with the back foot. Come get me. Step with the back foot. Lift your hands up. For the second strike. All right. So your hands are going straight up, and the tip is going to the horizon. It aligns on front of your head, and it comes down like a sack of whatever. Like that. Yeah. Is that making sense? Okay, here's the next one. Will you trade weapons again? Okay. Next time when I open and he comes in, I do this. And if he were to keep rushing in, he'd stick this right into his eyeball. So I'm pointing at him in a meaningful, this will suck for you kind of way. So not this, but this. So it's facing him. Just watch. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, just like you did last time. Okay? And I'm going to walk through with him what he's doing. So your left side is forward and you're in skikamai. Great. And you do that. And they come in to get you. So go for right there. Boom. And then do your block like this. Pull, shift. And then close your right hip. Open your left hip. And that brings the weapon across. Boom. Okay. Then he did this. So where does that make your weapon go? Lift your hands up in front of your center. Absolutely. Step with your back foot. Hit him in the head. Boom. Okay. He's going to lift up and step with his right foot like he was going to hit you like he always does. So step with your right foot forward and bring your sword around. Stick instead. The foot comes in and the hand goes bah like that. Yeah. Well, that's as the hand comes up, the other hand goes back. I hit him under the hands to keep the weapon up, and then I descend on his midsection and down.